tonight. We had a choir social hour, and Leanne Williams, who's here, asked if we could get together and do warm-ups. And my initial reaction was, "Ugh." And the reason for that is that I have presented twice at national conferences on why choirs don't warm up and like how warm up is the wrong word. That warming up you should consider like light yoga. It's just kind of moving your body just a little bit, just getting your body moving enough so you can do more strenuous things. And the truth is that at 7:30 in the evening, our chords have already done that. That our chords are warmed up enough, and that I believe that that first 15 to 20 minutes of rehearsal, that's vocal exercises, and it's a lot less like light yoga and a lot more like synchronized swimming or ballet. It is doing very specific things and learning to do them locked in together, right? Creating a great like matching our pitch, matching our vowels, matching our timbre, matching our rhythm. That is what the warm up time that I call vocal exercises time is all about. And I still do believe that. And I think that that's a hard thing to do over Zoom, but warming up isn't. And in the other lecture that I present often on the aging voice, a lot of it is how to keep your voice in good shape over long periods of time. And a ton of the research that I did that bothered me was that the vocal research was done on people who were living in nursing homes and assisted care facilities who could talk for maybe 15 minutes a day, and that was it. Or they weren't talking, they'd go a couple of days without talking, and your vocal cords can significantly degrade if you're not using them. And that is what we can use this time for, is talking about how, I mean, how many times have you on quarantine received a phone call at 3 o'clock and answered, hello? Oh, hey, hello? Because you hadn't spoken at 3 p.m. Like that has happened to me a whole bunch of times. So I think we can talk a lot about how to care for our voices, and we can do things that will help our skill set stay as sharp so when we do get back together, whenever that time may be, we're not starting from scratch, that we still have great skills that we can make work. How this will happen in a Zoom setting is that everyone has to be muted except me. Only way to make it work. I will open my chat window, and that will be the whole time. If you have a question, send a chat. So I'm all for questions whenever. So the chat window for me will always be there. You don't have to keep it open, but mine's going to be there. And that way, if you have a question, throw it in there and I'll answer it or tell you I'll answer it later or another day. And we will all sing. And you just should go for it. Like, sing big. People who are in your house, they are the lucky ones who get to hear you.
Oh, they
So
are.
just do your thing. Diane, I think you're the host, and so if someone else enters, if you can mute them if when they enter they are not already muted.
Okay, cool. And just FYI, you and Paula are also co-hosts. But yeah, I'll
Excellent.
do that.
That would be great. And then Paula, if you'll just be checking, I don't know if there's a waiting room, but letting people in if they come in later. It is just so good to see all of
Okay.
your faces. It makes me so happy. Um,
Can I
so I'm
just
going to
say
start with a
before
little.
before you're all muted, are we all muted already? Yeah, I guess
We're
so.
not yet.
I was just gonna say that the cure for that vocal thing is just talk to yourself all the time, like
Talk
I
to
do.
yourself
Just talk to
constantly.
yourself
I
constantly.
talked to my dog. My dog's right here. He's really cute. He's just hanging
Hopefully
out.
you can sing
He
to
likes
yourself.
choir rehearsal.
Hi, Ender.
So he's there too.
The sign of genius.
Talk to
I,
him to
I
me,
have
but I
this
can't get a word in.
I have this document of like nice readings for the choir, and this is the one that I can get through without crying. So, vocal music is an attempt to take the whole human being and project it into space. It is the ultimate gesture of getting out of yourself. You take a part of you that is most private, most personal, most inward, and you hurl it out into space. You project it as far as you can. That gesture of opening this whole region of the body results in an enormous spiritual release and is felt by other people with tremendous impact. That is from Peter Sellers. So,
Don, just a quick note. The choirs in Sweden are back in session now.
yeah, let us hope that we can social distance enough to do that too. I did actually read that. It's really great. Um, So I've never had a first rehearsal of a year with any chorus ever that wasn't rusty, right? And so what happens is your vocal cords, if you lick your cheek, that is about what your vocal cords feel like. They are pliable, they are soft, they are moist, and we need to move them a little bit. If you haven't been singing much, your vocal cords need some stretching. They need a little yoga. And that's what the first few rehearsals are always like, and that's usually when we're off for 3 months. It's been, I don't know, 7 years? I have no idea. Whatever time is anymore. But so know that it's going to take a little more time moving up and down in the range, but the first thing we're going to do is take the 3 breaths we like to take. You might find that it's better to stand, but I know some of us are sitting. Find your own space, whatever works for you. I'm going to stand up for the breathing part. Works well. Oh, this is what you're not supposed to do on Zoom, is make sure everyone looks up your nose. There. Okay, better. Fantastic. So, move this back a little bit. For those of you who don't know this exercise, you put your hands down right by your belly button or by your belt. Rub your hands together. Take a big breath in, expanding your body all the way around, filling up with air, then we push it out on an SH sound. That's the deepest breath I've taken in months. Now you put them up and down. Right, your hands are kind of like this. They're again down by your belt. The top hand's going to come up. It's going to stop at your sternum, and the bottom hand's going to keep moving down. Same thing front and back down here. And you want to think to expand all the way to your tailbone. Excellent. Another great exercise for when you haven't been taking a lot of deep breaths is we're going to take a big breath in, we're going to fill up, and then we're going to suck in more air like through a straw. I'm sorry, I'm moving in front of my microphone. Probably harder to hear me. We'll take a big breath in, and then after it's done. So all air out. Big breath in. Then top it off. You feel that? Those are good things to do, good ways to practice keeping the amount of air you can pull in, keeping your lungs stretched out, keeping your intercostal muscles and your abdomen muscles used to stretching. One more of those. Excellent. You can remain standing if you'd like. I'm going to sit down at this piano. I have pinched my sciatic nerve, so I'm feeling awesome. Whew, so sitting is really, it just feels so good. I have a therapist who's going to help with that soon. So, the first thing we're going to do, and this is something that I'd like you to do every single day, that in quarantine time, when we're talking to fewer people, it is a big deal just to explore the range of your voice, to let your cords get very slack, to let your cords get pretty tight, and go back and forth. And so it is just making stupid noises. The first one is while we're going to chew on a hum. So you think about putting a big, like a big ball of bubble gum in your mouth, and you just explore the middle part of your range. The sounds are fairly bovine. Get the low part of your range. Back to the middle. The high, but not the falsetto. Then into your head voice. You might find it hard to get to the very tips of your head voice with your mouth closed. That's fine. Big breath in. Big breath out. Just using different parts of your voice. You might haven't explored them in a while. We're going to start on a lip buzz and just get a good siren up. Another one of those. Do you find that your adrenaline's already pumping a little? that your blood's pumping harder than it has in a little while. That's just good breathing. It's really a great thing. So that's another thing that you can do every single day. Like I can, my body is just moving differently. It's really wonderful. And I've been singing in public a bunch, but maybe I haven't been warming up enough. Huh. So now we're gonna do a similar thing, but with our mouth open. These are good. Yeah, relax your jaw, right? Your mouth might not have been this open in a long time. Another thing to notice, when is your sound towards the front of your face? When is your sound in the back, right? Because it's not ah or but it's both. Oh, just kind of feeling where that is. Yeah. Good. Wiggle your face out. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. These are everyday activities. Okay, we're going to put some pitches on it. It is not important that you sing on pitches every day. It just isn't. But finding time to sing on pitch helps us sing in tune. So we're going to start right here. We're going to be on a lip buzz. If your lips don't want to buzz, you can roll your tongue. If that doesn't work either, you can hum. We're going to Do you notice in yourself? Is your breath high? Do you hear? Because we're not used to taking that low breath. So really think. I see faces yawning. It's very good. It's very good. I don't take it as you think I'm boring, right? The yawning face means we're opening up and we're taking bigger breaths. Also, our body is asking for more oxygen, and it wants that. That's where the yawning comes from. So larynx lowers, everything opens. That's how we're going to keep it open the whole time. We're here, and tenors and basses, you may find you go to your falsetto a lot earlier than you're used to. Fantastic. Altos, you might find this is where the tippy top is right now. Don't worry about it. Go down the octave. One more. An unimportant thing is that your nose should be itchy. Mine is so itchy. An unimportant thing tonight is how high you can sing and how loud you can sing. Vastly unimportant to getting the rust off of your voice. You just need to use the chords, stretch them low, stretch them high. That's the thing. It's simple as that. I have a whole rehearsal plan and everything. Cool. Let's try starting here. We're just gonna sing. We're gonna sing. Ho, a big H in front of it, and a really a long slide. So it wasn't ho, but ho. Every time in your life when it comes to low notes, never be a hero. We all have a finite low note. We have a finite note that we can sing at the bottom of our range. There is no need to ever sing lower than is comfortable. In fact, you shouldn't do it. It's bad for you. There is the vocal fry register, which mostly basses and baritones have, where it gets in that part of your range where that is a useful note for something. But we don't even talk about all that right now. Okay, we're going to talk about some tuning half steps. We'll start in C. So this whole exercise, we'll go up by half steps, and it's just half the whole time. It's slidey, a lot of air in, a lot of air out. Really simple. Big breath in. Oh, someone's in the waiting room. Admitted. Welcome. Yay, tuning! I feel the same way. And now on your side of the screen, there might be a whole lot of voice cracking going on. And you know what that is? Totally normal, right? A super normal thing. So all voice cracking is your registers trying to figure themselves out. And when your voice is well stretched and pliable, that doesn't happen as often. When your voices are not stretched and they're a little rusty, your voice is going to crack more, especially sopranos and altos. And you know what happens when your voice cracks? Nothing. It is sometimes can be embarrassing for you as a human being by yourself, and nobody else will hear it. So just go for it. Let your voice crack. It is far better. The way we help our voices not crack is we clench onto it and we try to control it. Throw control away. It's not about control. Same exercise, just up a half step. Shake your neck out a little bit. Are you finding tensions you haven't found in a little while? Kind of living in your body? Super normal, right? Very normal things that we start to feel as we start to re-engage muscles that we are good friends with but haven't spent time with in a little while. Really, really excellent. Feeling okay? Can I see some heads nodding? Feeling nice? Nice to get some rust off? I got to change to see the rest of the people. Good to see everybody. So nice. Excellent. Vowels, as you know, I'm really into. I find vowels very important, and it can be tricky to tune vowels in this space, and that is okay. But experimenting inside vowels is something we can do, right? So we're going to take a favorite word of mine, my. But we're going to sing it 3 times each time. We're going to sing it bright, dark, middle. So it's going to sound like my, not My. I'm not choking it off. I'm just singing open and bright. My. Followed by very dark. My. Followed by the middle ground. My. Every key will have that. We'll start in this one. Big breath in, we start bright. My. Dark. My. In the middle. My. Starts bright. My. Dark. My. In the middle. My. Same thing. Bright. My. Dark. My. In the middle. My. Weird, right? One of the things that I'm realizing I can't do here is I ask a lot of "How does that feel?" questions. Can't. That's that. You just nod. I hope it feels good. But you might notice that the command of how to bring sounds brighter, the command of how to bring sounds darker, doesn't feel it quite as natural right now. That's another rust thing, right? That rust comes off. It's no big deal. It's just another kind of thing. We can feel a little rusty in that space. The more you do it, the easier it is. That's why in your own everyday singing, and are really meaningful. Taking really, really bright, really, really dark, feeling that back and forth. Let's do a few more of those, shall we? Same thing, bright, dark, middle. My. Starts bright. My. Dark. My. Middle. My. One more. My. Dark. My. Middle. My. How you feel? Ready for a rehearsal? Me too. So, what we're going to be doing for right now is every other week or so, we're going to get together and do some of this for about half an hour. A 2.5 hour Zoom rehearsal will not be good for anybody, right? It's just not going to work. But the goal is that first, over the next few weeks, we're going to spend time getting things just loose and open again. Your job, Paul, I thought you were drinking a beer. I now notice it was a water bottle, but I thought you just took a big swig of a beer in the middle of rehearsal, which is hilarious. So spending the next couple weeks, living in your voice. Try and see what the top is. The top might be lower than it will be in 2 weeks, right? It might be a little lower than it will be in 2 weeks. After rehearsal cocktails, I'm all for. But spending time in that upper range, that lower range, exploring bright and dark, getting back into your voice. We will eventually do some projects together. Virtual choirs are not a choir, but they are projects, and they're musical, and they're something. And they are things we are allowed to do in time, and so in this time. So our friends in San Diego, you are more than welcome to join us. I'm going to spread this out to other folks too, that we can have all this time to be in this space together, to make noise, to sing. It can be really, really lovely. So I know for the holidays, I plan very much so for us to do some holiday songs together. I think we can probably pull one off in maybe late October, early November as well, to do these virtual choir things and invite more friends to draw the circle quite wide. We should maybe draw the circle wide. That sounds like a great idea. That could be a really nice one to do and to bring in more and more people. So that is our that is the plan for what we can do and making it really an enjoyable experience for all of us. Can we all sing Spirit of Life together before we stop the singing part? I meant to send it to everyone in your email. Maybe I can find it in a folder real quick and share a screen. I know you don't all need it, but for in case anybody does need it, I probably have a PDF on my computer. Spirit of Life. There's that one there. Okay, if you don't know it, you pull up the lyrics on the Googler. You can have it. It's probably there somewhere. It's in my noodle. In here. Lots of breath. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Oh, wind, rise in the sea. Moving the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. And a weird virtual choir idea I had today that I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it's worth trying sometime after in one of these rehearsals is we can all open an app on our phone or on the computer while we're in a Zoom and record ourselves while I play that, as long as we're in headphones, and we can all sing, but we'll have to have like a snap moment or a clap moment that shows where it is, and then we can see if we can put them all together. I don't think it's going to work, but I think it's worth trying. I think it's just worth giving it a whirl, throwing it all together, and seeing what happens, right? Okay, so that's something I think we should go for maybe in 2 weeks when we do this again. So great, yeah, try some visual metronome, like this one right here. Ooh, it was hiding right off camera. I bought an old school style metronome because I'm playing a lot of Bach. Turns out, doesn't matter how slow it is, I can't play Bach in time, so I just don't. But I still have this sitting on my piano. Maybe next roll through, I'll be able to play Bach. Oh no, Julie's just is prettier than mine. That's great. Well, friends, I am very happy for us all to come off mute. I might pour myself a cocktail. We can talk for a few minutes, have a little post-rehearsal thing. But I think that like 30 minutes is going to feel really good for the amount of